Wonderful. Welcome, everyone. This is the April edition of Calendar Anything Office Hours. So welcome. I am joined by our Senior Director of Product, Lena Sin. And my name is Janelle Bromberg. I'm the Senior Director of App Exchange Sales and Alliances here at Calendar Anything. We do this every month as a way to open up any questions you guys have, and also we'll go over the latest release of Calendar Anything and the highlights that have come out as far as new functionality in the latest release. We do monthly releases, so we have this every month. Except for next month. We are going to go ahead and skip May office hours. We have a ton going on, but we'll have a really great June office hours where we'll go over a ton of functionality over the last two releases. So definitely make sure you join us for the June office hours. Next up, I want to remind everyone about our April newsletter. We send newsletters out every month. It will link to the latest release of Calendar Anything. It will also go over the release notes. There'll be some customer stories and things like that. If you'd love to be featured in our newsletter, please let us know. We'd love to feature you. And also make sure that everyone, especially end users, are getting these newsletters to make sure they know the latest and greatest functionality. So please, if you know anyone on your team that should be getting the newsletter that is not, that should be getting access to these calls that are not, please let us know. We'll make sure that they are added to the list. I also want to go over some events that we will be attending within this quarter. So number one, we are going to be at the Salesforce New York World Tour, and that is taking place in April, so April 25th. Within this doc, and I'm also going to link, we'll send out an email tomorrow with a copy of the slide deck, and also a link to how to register for the New York World Tour. We're having a happy hour. We'd love to see you there. We will also be at Salesforce Connections in Chicago, May 23rd and 24th. It'll be the same thing. We have not set up the registration page just yet for the happy hour we are hosting at Salesforce Connections, but please be on the lookout for that. We'll be sending you emails to remind you to sign up, and we hope to see you in Chicago in May or out at Salesforce New York World Tour in April. So without further ado, Lena, I don't know if you have anything else we want to discuss before we hop into the latest release of Calendar Anything version 1.105.
Thank you for the introductions, Janelle, and for the information on the upcoming events. Let's dive right into our release, and our main topic for today is how can we make our system admins' lives a little bit easier when setting up Calendar Anything for new users, as well as how can we make the end user life a little easier as well, with providing some different ways on how they can access and navigate their calendars within Calendar Anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. And I'm gonna turn off my camera for now. All right. So, first of all, I would like to cover the new feature that we are releasing in version 1.105. It's going to be available GA on Monday next week. This is our demo, sort of a preview org, so we can show you what that new feature is. So this has been requested by several clients over the years, and finally we had an opportunity to add this new functionality to our calendar. So basically what it is ability for calendar admin to easily add calendars to the end user's left side navigation bar. So currently the process is the new calendar is created, shared with a public group, end users will get notified. They need to go into their calendar list, and then from the list of available calendars, they need to go and select which calendars they want to actually see in their navigation bar. Janelle, can you still see my screen?
I sure can.
Okay, great. So what we did was we added a new step into the calendar setup that will sort of automate that process. So I'm going to create a new calendar now to show how that works. We're gonna call it April office hours. Click next. Next, next. I'm just gonna skip through all the steps. We're gonna share this calendar like we normally do, and now I'm gonna go back to my calendar criteria step. So here you'll see that we added a new section. It's called visibility settings. So what this allows the calendar anything admins to do is they can now say, make this calendar visible for a certain set of people, so they don't have to go into their calendar list and manually add those calendars into the list of selected calendars. So you would expand this section. We have three options or three types of options that can be selected. So you can set visibility by profile, role, or public group. So I'm going to select public group in this case. And I'm going to say everyone who belongs to calendar anything public group should have this calendar automatically added to their list of selected calendars. You can mix and match. So you can do a public group and then you can do a profile or role. So it doesn't have to be just one or the other. Can be either combination of those things. So now I'm going to go ahead and click save. And because I'm the owner of this calendar is automatically added to my list of visible calendars. So now I'm gonna go and log in as one of my users who are a member of the public group that this calendar was shared with. So I'm gonna go ahead and log in as Helen. So you'll see that our out-of-the-box calendar anything page has loaded, and the calendar that was just created has been automatically added to the list of her selected calendars. So we are grouping these calendars in folders. So each public group, profile, or role will have a folder, so the user kind of knows like where it's coming from and which group it belongs to. From this point on, they can leave it as is, or they always have an option to manage their calendar, so they can navigate to their calendar list, and they can, remove this calendar if they don't want to, if they don't need it, or they can move it up, down, they can change the order, so they have a full control over their available calendar. The only caveat is once it's modified and the page is reloaded or they log out, log back in, it will remember the last selected or the last specified settings. So it will no longer be part of that folder and displayed like this. They can also use our context menu, so they can hide this calendar if they don't want to see it. Again, this will sort of reset that default visibility that was added at the calendar creation. So now it's following the custom per user display setting rules.
And something else to point out on that page, Lena, is the fact that that folder that was created, you're also able to, edit that folder, remove that folder if you want, or keep it if you so desire as well.
Yep,
so you're not stuck with that folder.
Yep, that's all part of per user customizations that they can do. So I'm going to log out here.
Before we head into our next thing, I just want to remind everybody, if you have any questions at all, or you're just looking to discuss something on your own that you have a question about, please feel free to type it into our chat and we will get to it once Lena is done demoing.
Thank you, Janelle. So this is the main feature of 1.105 release, is the ease of now setting that visibility for a group of people. You don't have to log in as another user one by one and set their selected calendars for them. This can all be done as part of the calendar anything setup. So in our admin corner portion of office hours, we want to talk about other ways how this can be managed. So another option that we offer is ability to create a custom lightning page where you can place calendar anything component with component properties. So I have a custom calendar page set up in our demo org. This is what it looks like behind the scenes. It's very basic. It's just one single layout page with one component on it. What we do here, we're saying calendars available to enable component property will have the C accessible value added to it. So what does it mean? It means that when users access this page, they'll, in their list of calendars, they'll see all calendars that they have access to. So anything that was shared with them, any calendar that was shared with them through the sharing step in the calendar setup will become visible for them in this list. So if I go back to my page, you'll see as an admin in this org, I have a really long list of calendars that I can, enable now. So this is everything that I either own or was shared with me. So if you compare that with my list is very small here. This is what I personally manage through the visibility settings in my display settings, and this is what the admin has set up for me. So I have access to all my calendars that have been shared with me. So this list can be controlled. So instead of using C accessible, for example, if you have a set of a group of people that need access to certain calendars, instead of using the calendar visibility at the calendar setup, you can create a custom page and explicitly define which calendars that group will have access to. That list will be managed through the edit page again. So instead of using C accessible, you can add the calendar names or calendar IDs, comma separated, and you can manage the list of accessible calendars that way. Because this is we leveraging the standard Salesforce Lightning page, you can have several calendarizing components in it with different configuration. So for example, one group of people need like this first 4 calendars, and then another group of people need the other 4 calendars. Through the component visibility, you can specify which set of people will need to access which components. So you don't need to maintain multiple pages. You can do that all through one page. And we have clients who do that. So one thing to be mindful of this approach is that this list is static, so to speak. Users cannot add or remove calendars to this page. It will always default to what has been defined on this page.
Something else I want to call out too, outside of just calendar, automatically being enabled, is the fact that you can start doing some user settings updates and also parameters. So if you want to hide the sidebar, you can do that. If you want it to default to a certain text size or a certain view, you can do all of that within that custom page. So the admin is setting up a view for an end user, and that is a view that they will always see. And so the ongoing maintenance of that is a lot, it's a lot less on an admin than having to make sure that you're always explaining to each user how to work the calendar. It's here, set it and forget it. This is the calendar that we've created for you. So just different ways to be able to manage a calendar, anything for the long term.
Correct. So that's all I had, Janelle, for today.
Perfect.
Show and tell portion.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Lena. I want to go ahead and open it up. I know this is a pretty short session. We just had one major kind of release of pieces of functionality that we wanted to go over. And of course, the main caveat and the main, the main message we wanted to get through to everyone today was there is an easier way to maintain calendar anything for the long term. It seems like it's been coming coming up a lot on our cases. So that's the reason we have these on a monthly basis. We wanted to make sure we we're discussing it with you guys. If you have any other questions, please, we're opening it up to Q&A. So it does not have to necessarily be anything about what we just talked about. It can be just general questions you have about calendar anything. So I will let everyone kind of brainstorm for a minute or two before we let you go to see if you guys have any questions for us. Let's see what we got. We're new to calendar anything. Will the update on Monday auto install or do we need to manually install it? Lena, I will let you take that one.
Thank you, Janelle. So we don't push updates to clients' orgs. We make the updates available on the App Exchange, and also we provide installation links in our newsletters and also on our website. So customers, it's up to the customer when they want to take that update. As a rule of thumb, we always recommend updating Sandbox and testing in Sandbox before you make any changes in production. That's how that's our process for releasing new updates.
Yep, so we'll be updating the App Exchange on Monday. And also when you do install, make sure you install for all users as opposed to admins only. It'll make your life a lot easier in the long run if you do that, permission set wise. So great question, absolutely. Any other questions we can answer for you guys today?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, what is your cadence of updates? I mean, do you do something quarterly, once a month upon bug fixes?
Yeah, so normally we have monthly releases. Sometimes they're getting a little bit delayed due to, you know, if we find a ton of bugs that we need to fix, we don't want to release anything that's not perfect. But normally we have a release at the end of each month.
Okay. And I've got two more questions, sorry. On what you demoed, that's great. Awesome feature to be able to add the calendars by profile, role, or group. But our other thing is, you know, our default is the swim lane or day grouping calendar. And with that, you also have to set up a public group assignment.
Yep.
Can that also be done?
So that can be done, yeah, so that can be done at the component level as a default. The one thing that you need to remember is that users can change that grouping to use another public group during their session. When they log out or refresh the page, it will fall back into what's specified as a default at the component level. So yes, you can absolutely default the grouping at the component level as a component property, but that cannot be changed on a user per user basis. So that will always default to that specific value that you have set.
Okay, so before we had to log in and assign the calendars as them, but you're saying this new feature, you can assign the calendars by a role or that, but the personal or the public groups can't be done that way. That still has to be done by the user. Okay.
Yep. And also we do calendaring remembers the last selected. So if you're using out of the box page, once they select something, next time they log in, it will pre-populate with whatever they used last time.
Okay. And final question was just kind of random. Since we use the swim lanes and that kind of view, the all-day setting, and I don't know if this is a calendar anything setting or if it's just a Salesforce events setting, but you know how in Outlook, if you do like an all day and it has you show, you know, whether you're out of office or this or that, and then it blocks that with a different color or whatever in the time. But when we do an all day event in here, it just shows at the top. And it doesn't block out any of the time if people are past the top part and they're looking just in the afternoon, it's not blocked and noticeable. Is there a setting for that?
Yeah, so let me share my screen. I can show you how to manage that. Give me 1 second. Okay, share my screen. All right, so this is a week view. Day view works the same way. So you'll see I'm looking at my event calendar. This is my all day event. It appears at the top. Actually, let me pick another one that doesn't span multiple days. It appears at the top because it has the all day event checkbox checked. You can make it sort of like an all day, but take the time area. If you uncheck the all day checkbox, and you can set the time to, let's say, 01 a.m. to 11 p.m. So now you see it's taking the whole day pretty much, so it blocks your calendar that way. So if the all day checkbox is checked, we will display it at the top in the all day area. If the checkbox is not checked, it will appear in the hourly section.
And if you scroll down, does that all day still? Okay, so in this view, in our swim lane view,
So
it
in the
does
swim
not,
lane, it will look like this. Let's see.
or day grouping, I'm not sure if there's a difference.
So we're displaying here by date. By date will give us the blocks. If we do by hour, you'll see that, you know, it takes the whole day. For that specific day for April 11. Day view with grouping will look like this.
Okay, so it does look like it still shows when you scroll. I'll have to test that. When we were looking before, if they're scrolled or they're on the hour, the day event went away. You didn't see it.
Yeah.
I think.
So the thing that controls where the event appears on the calendar is the all day event checkbox. So if it's not checked, it will be in the hourly section, and if it's checked, then it's gonna go up into the all day section here.
Okay. I think that answers my question. Thank you.
As always, Kara, if you have any issues with it, you know to submit a case and to reach out to us.
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely awesome. Cool. Is there any other questions? Kara's questions are exactly the reason we are here. So please, if you have any questions, I know some of the folks here are new and brand new to Calendar Anything, so we might be just hopping right into it. If you have any questions on getting set up, anything at all, please submit a case, reach out to our support team. We're happy to help you guys. Just a reminder, we will be sending out this recording along with the link to register for our happy hour that we're having at the end of April in New York. So please, Salesforce World Tour, if you're going to be there, we'd love to meet you. And yeah, we'll go ahead and send this recording out tomorrow morning. If you guys have any other questions, you know where to find us. Please submit a case. Otherwise, no office hours in May. We'll be back in June, so be on the lookout for that. Awesome. So great. Have a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much.
JT, looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing you there.